There's something so ordinary, so overlooked, that it sits right in front of us every single day, quietly influencing how well our bodies work, how sharp our minds feel, and how much life and vitality we can bring into each moment. It's not a miracle supplement, not an exotic fruit from a far-off rainforest, and not some expensive therapy you have to book months in advance. It's water, the simplest, most accessible element of health we have, yet for many of us it's the first thing we forget about until our bodies remind us with fatigue, aches, and signs of wear we chalk up to just getting older. But the truth is, water is the foundation on which almost every single one of our body's processes rests. Our muscles, our heart, our brain, even our mood are all influenced by how well hydrated we are. And as we grow older, the stakes get higher. We may think of hydration as something to prevent thirst, but in reality, it's the fuel for circulation, the cushion for our joints, the regulator of our temperature, and one of the most effective low-effort tools for slowing down the wear and tear of aging. Picture for a moment a plant in your home that's been neglected for a few days too long. Its leaves are drooping, the color isn't as bright, and the stems have lost their firmness. With just the right amount of water, life comes back into those leaves, the color deepens, and the structure holds again. That's not just a plant's story, that's ours too. And while our bodies are more complex than a potted fern, the principle is strikingly similar. The question isn't whether water is important. We all know it is. The real question is, are we using it to its full advantage to protect and even reclaim our health as we age? If you've ever noticed how a single consistent habit can breathe new life into your days, that's exactly the kind of simple, powerful shift we explore here on Everyday Ageless. So if you find value in ideas like this, consider subscribing and joining our community of health seekers who believe aging can be vibrant and full of possibility. And I'd love to hear your own story. Share in the comments how hydration, or the lack of it, has made a difference in your energy, mood, or overall well-being. Your experience might be the spark that helps someone else take the first step toward feeling better. Most people underestimate just how deeply hydration weaves into the story of longevity. It's not just about quenching thirst or avoiding dry mouth. It's about maintaining the fluid balance that every cell depends on to function at its best. Every nerve signal your brain sends, every heartbeat, every movement of your muscles is carried out in a watery environment. When that environment is well maintained, everything runs smoothly. But when it's compromised, when your body's water reserves drop even slightly, your systems begin to adjust, and not always in ways that serve your long-term health. Blood becomes thicker, circulation slows, nutrients take longer to reach where they're needed, and the removal of waste from your tissues becomes less efficient. Over time, that can subtly accelerate the wear on your organs and tissues, much like a river slowing to a trickle, leaves behind stagnant pools and debris. You may not notice the shift in an afternoon, but the gradual effects build, influencing how you age from the inside out. Hydration also plays an unsung role in maintaining mental clarity and emotional steadiness, two qualities that often get overlooked in physical wellness conversations. The brain is made up of about 3/4 water, and even mild dehydration can cause fogginess, irritability, or lapses in short-term memory. For someone who wants to remain sharp, engaged, and socially connected well into later years, that's not a minor detail, it's a daily priority. Adequate water supports the production and circulation of neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that allow us to think clearly, process information, and maintain a stable mood. Seniors who stay consistently hydrated often find they have more energy for hobbies, conversations, and problem-solving, because their brain isn't constantly compensating for a shortage of its most basic resource. But hydration doesn't exist in isolation. It interacts with almost every aspect of lifestyle. Diet, activity, climate, and even stress levels influence how much water your body uses and needs. For instance, eating more fruits and vegetables naturally adds to your hydration, while processed foods, excess caffeine, and certain medications can drain it. A brisk walk in the morning sun or gardening in the afternoon may not feel like strenuous exercise, but both increase your need for fluids, and stress, though invisible, can change how your body manages water, subtly increasing your loss through faster breathing or hormonal shifts. This is why hydration is not just a number of glasses to aim for. It's a flexible, responsive habit that adjusts to your life and your environment. Understanding this interconnection is key, because too often we address health challenges in isolation, searching for a pill, a diet tweak, or a supplement to fix a symptom. Yet here is one of the simplest levers we can pull, a daily act that can improve circulation, reduce the strain on the heart, enhance nutrient delivery, cushion joints, and keep the mind alert, all without a complicated regimen or expensive equipment. It's not about overloading yourself with water all at once. It's about creating a steady, balanced supply that keeps your body in its optimal operating range from morning to night. One of the most overlooked truths about hydration is that the way you drink water can be just as important as the amount. Our bodies are designed to absorb and use water in a measured, gradual process, not in sudden floods. When you take in large amounts in one go, much of it passes quickly through your system, giving you a temporary sense of fullness, but leaving your cells only partially replenished. A steady rhythm of sipping throughout the day allows your tissues, organs, and bloodstream to continually refresh without placing unnecessary strain on your kidneys or diluting essential electrolytes. Think of it as maintaining the gentle flow of a well-fed stream, nourishing every bend and curve, rather than unleashing a brief downpour that rushes past before the soil can soak it in. For many older adults, posture and body state while drinking can also make a subtle but meaningful difference. When you sit comfortably, shoulders relaxed, and take small, unhurried sips, your digestive system is better positioned to handle the intake, allowing fluids to move smoothly into your bloodstream. This relaxed state also supports a calmer heartbeat and more even breathing, helping circulation work more efficiently, a benefit that extends all the way to your extremities. That may sound like a tiny detail, but over time, these small choices add up, especially in supporting vascular health, which is so vital as we age. Temperature matters as well. Ice-cold water can feel refreshing on a hot day, but for an older body, particularly one focused on maintaining strong digestion, room temperature or slightly warm water is often more beneficial. Cold water forces your system to spend energy bringing it to body temperature, and for some people it can even cause mild constriction of blood vessels, temporarily slowing circulation. Warmer water, on the other hand, is gentler, easier to absorb, and less likely to disrupt digestion. It's a small shift that can lead to more comfort and better hydration efficiency over the long term. Another habit worth adopting is to let each sip linger for a moment in your mouth before swallowing. This isn't just a mindful drinking practice. It allows your saliva to mix with the water, beginning the process of digestion and subtly influencing how your body receives and utilizes the fluid. Saliva contains enzymes and has an alkaline nature that primes your system for nutrient absorption, a principle that has been valued in traditional wellness systems for centuries and is now supported by emerging nutritional science. Just as important as how you drink is when you drink. Spacing your water intake evenly from morning until early evening supports your body's natural rhythms. Drinking heavily right before bedtime often interrupts sleep with unnecessary trips to the bathroom, and disrupted sleep can chip away at your energy, immunity, and mental clarity. Similarly, downing large amounts of water immediately after a meal can dilute the stomach acids needed for effective digestion. Waiting about half an hour after eating before resuming steady sips helps you get the most from your food while still keeping your hydration on track. The idea of 8 glasses a day has been passed around for decades, but the truth is your ideal water intake is more personal than that. Your age, body weight, level of activity, the foods you eat, and even the climate you live in all influence how much you need. For many adults, especially those in their senior years, aiming for 2 to 3 liters of total fluid per day, including both drinks and water-rich foods, is a solid range, but it's not a rigid prescription. Some days you'll need more, especially if you've been physically active, spent time in warm weather, or eaten foods high in salt or protein, which increase your body's demand for water. The key is not just hitting a number, but staying aware of your body's signals. Subtle changes in energy, mood, and even skin texture can be your early cues that it's time to replenish. Timing your hydration can also have a surprisingly strong impact on how your body uses it. Starting the morning with a glass of water soon after waking helps replenish the fluids you've lost through breathing overnight and gives your circulation a gentle boost before your day's activities begin. Spreading your intake evenly across the day keeps your tissues consistently supplied, allowing for smoother digestion, steadier energy, and better nutrient transport. One effective strategy is to link small servings of water to existing habits, sipping while you prepare a meal, after a short walk, or when you finish a phone call, so that hydration becomes an effortless rhythm rather than a chore. There are also times when it's wise to pause. Drinking large amounts immediately before heavy physical activity can cause discomfort or bloating, while overhydrating in the hours leading up to bedtime can interfere with the deep restorative stages of sleep your body depends on for repair and recovery. For many people, shifting the majority of water intake to earlier in the day with lighter sipping in the evening strikes the right balance between hydration and uninterrupted rest. Another often overlooked pitfall is relying too heavily on thirst as your guide. By the time you feel thirsty, you may already be mildly dehydrated, particularly as you grow older, because the body's thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive with age. Paying attention to other signs, such as slight fatigue, a dry mouth, or urine that's darker than pale yellow, can help you stay ahead of dehydration before it starts to affect your focus, energy, or mood. And yes, there is such a thing as too much water. Consuming excessive amounts in a short period can dilute your blood sodium levels, leading to a condition called hyponatremia, which can cause headaches, nausea, and in severe cases, more serious complications. It's rare, but it's a reminder that hydration should be steady and balanced, not extreme. The goal isn't to flood your system, it's to keep it in a state of gentle, continuous support, day after day. When you step back and look at the role water plays in your body, it becomes clear that it's not just a background detail, it's the stage on which every aspect of health performs. Muscles that stay supple, joints that move with ease, skin that retains its elasticity, a mind that remains sharp and responsive, and a heart that keeps a steady, efficient beat. Each of these depends on a steady flow of hydration. For those of us who want our later years to be rich in activity, connection, and independence, the choices we make each day are the quiet architects of that future. Water is one of the simplest, most affordable, and most effective of those choices, yet it is often dismissed because of its simplicity. But simplicity is precisely its strength. You don't need complicated devices, rare ingredients, or costly memberships to begin. You only need the awareness and intention to keep this life-giving habit alive every day. The beauty of focusing on hydration is that it rewards you in both subtle and obvious ways. Within days, you may feel lighter, more energetic, and clearer in thought. Over weeks and months, your resilience, recovery, and stamina can improve in ways that make everyday activities more enjoyable and less taxing. And over years, you're stacking the odds in favor of better cardiovascular health, steadier mood, and a mind that stays engaged with the world around you. In that sense, every glass of water is more than a drink. It's a vote for the kind of life you want to live and the person you want to be in the years ahead. If you've found value in what you've heard today, and you believe in building health not through gimmicks but through timeless, evidence-based habits, I'd like to invite you to stay connected with us here at Everyday Ageless. Subscribe so you'll always have access to practical, well-researched steps that keep your body and mind working together in harmony. And I'd love to hear your story. Whether it's a change you've noticed after improving your hydration, or a tip you've used to make it easier, share it in the comments. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to start their own journey toward feeling more vibrant, more capable, and more at home in their own body. Together we can show that aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. It can mean living fully, with energy and purpose, at any stage of life.